Welcome to today's Explainer. If you've been trying to make sense of the massive events unfolding right now at Delhi's Jantar Mantar, well, you are in the exact right place. We're going to dive right into an impartial look at this huge education reform protest that has literally captured the nation's attention. We'll break down exactly who's involved, what they're demanding, and where this incredibly tense situation stands right now.
So let's kick things off with the big question hanging over everything. Will the voices rising from Jantar Mantar fundamentally change the country? You see, this isn't just some minor, localized dispute. Not at all. It's a rapidly escalating situation that actually holds the genuine potential to reshape our entire educational landscape. As we unpack the facts today, I want you to keep this massive question right at the forefront of your mind.
Section 1. The current movement at Jantar Mantar.
The escalation here has been remarkably rapid. It's really essential to understand the sequence of events that brought us to this point. At the absolute heart of the movement is the well-known environmentalist and educationist Sonam Wangchuk. Now, he initiated a prolonged hunger strike to demand sweeping, fundamental reforms within the education system. But as the fast continued day after day, his health severely deteriorated, transforming what was a protest into a critical medical emergency. This rapid decline led directly to his admission into Safdarjung Hospital. Official reports indicate that while he is incredibly weak from the fast, he's currently being kept under constant, strict medical supervision. The situation actually grew so dire that it triggered intervention from the highest levels of the judiciary, which we'll delve into in just a bit, because it plays a crucial role in this whole unfolding drama.
Moving on to Section 2, the protesters and their main demands.
So what exactly is driving this massive mobilization? While Wangchuk is the most visible figure, he is far from alone in this fight. Standing shoulder to shoulder with him are massive numbers of students, along with Abhijit Diprik, the founder of the Cockroach Janata Party, or CJP. Their movement basically rests on three foundational demands that strike right at the core of the nation's future. First up, they're calling for complete, undeniable transparency within the education system. Second, they demand strict accountability for the recent wave of exam paper leaks. I mean, this is a devastating issue that shatters the dreams of hardworking students and impacts the futures of millions of households across the country. And third, they aren't just looking for vague promises. They're demanding direct, clear answers specifically from the education minister. They want a definitive response to these systemic failures, no beating around the bush.
Section 3. Police action and political debate.
This standoff presents a sheer clash of two very distinct perspectives in New Delhi, and it's resulted in escalating friction, even physical clashes between the police and protesters during a recent march toward Parliament. On one side of the divide, you have the protesters, heavily supported by several opposition leaders. They're fiercely advocating for sweeping educational reforms and defending their fundamental democratic right to protest. On the flip side, the government maintains a firm, unwavering stance. They state they are fundamentally mandated to maintain law and order in the capital. And regarding the highly publicized removal of Sonam Wangchuk from the protest site, officials insist they were acting strictly on urgent medical advice when transferring him to the hospital, prioritizing his immediate physical safety. So you can see it's a highly complex situation, where this passionate demand for reform is running directly into the state's strict mandate for public safety.
Which brings us to Section 4, the High Court and the current situation.
Right now, we're looking at an intense institutional gridlock. It's honestly like a giant puzzle where the pieces just aren't fitting together. The judiciary has officially intervened to try and break the tension, with the Delhi High Court issuing a firm, non-negotiable directive that the government absolutely must ensure Wangchuk's health and safety. Yet, despite this high-level intervention, the stalemate holds strong. Wangchuk remains hospitalized under close medical watch, physically weakened for sure, but still very much central to the narrative. Meanwhile, the CJP and the massive crowds of passionate supporters are vowing to continue the movement, making it crystal clear they have absolutely no intention of backing down. And politically, well, the debate rages hotter than ever, but a final, concrete political solution just hasn't materialized yet. Basically, neither side has blinked.
All of this leads us to a truly critical crossroads. Will the government and protesters find a path forward through dialogue? Or will this movement take an even larger, more disruptive form in the coming days? The critical hospitalizations, the rigid demands, the physical clashes on the streets, and those high-level legal directives, they all point to a situation teetering right on the absolute edge. How this resolves will undoubtedly leave a lasting mark on the nation's educational framework for a generation. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. The next move could literally change everything. So, what do you think will happen next? We'll definitely be watching.